Okay, good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's well. Happy Tuesday. Thanks so much for joining us on the Boost. I want to follow up on yesterday, contrast a little bit what we spoke about yesterday to what are some of the perils of that. Right? We're dancing in raindrops over here. We're trying to find greatness. Greatness requires other people. You can't be great alone. It doesn't work. It's not how we're built. Forget that. If you think for 1 second you can put your head down and be great by yourself, you're going to miss something. There's no way. It's impossible. It's just not how the world works. We have a blessing that we say a lot, and I'll say it in Hebrew and I'll translate it. The blessing goes Borei. We bless Hashem. We bless God. Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam Borei nefashos rabos v'chesronan. In the Sephardi accent, Borei nefashot rabot v'chesronan, which means in English, we bless God for creating lots of people. Nefashot rabot, a lot of people, v'chesronan, and their deficiencies. We thank God for deficiencies. Why? Because if God would make us all fully independent, we would not be able to connect on a spiritual level. Our soul, so to speak, from the little that I know, is fragmented. And the fragmentation of the soul requires unification. And that's life. You're trying to unify spiritually. And the physical things that we do are really a process of unification. We connect to people because there's something we got to do with them. We marry people because we're connecting spiritually. We don't just have friends, families, parents, children in our lives because. This is a really important concept that is really hard to get. Nobody comes into your life unless there's some kind of spiritual thing. Now, there may be people in life you want to distance from. Okay, let's leave that out for a minute. We don't got to go negative right away. For those that are like, well, what about? We'll punt for now. Let's just focus on the people that you're like me. You're like okay with or you're happy about. The reason why they're in our lives is because their souls and our souls have to connect at some level. Now, that's part of the spiritual process of your life. You're a soul. You're in this world for a reason. You're a ray of light that has what to do in a physical world. You're not here trying to consume as much as you think. Last week there was this amazing birthday party for Rabbi Reuben, Rawai Jacobson. I don't know if you know him. He's an amazing speaker, an amazing rabbi, a lot of wisdom. So he had a party to raise money for his organization that helps put out his works. And I interviewed him on stage for the thing, and he's pretty clear what his goal is, in my opinion. He got it from the Lubavitcher Rabbi. That we're all a bit of infinite consciousness. We all have a ray of light that God put into us that needs to come out only through us. And the reason why he was celebrating his birthday, and the reason why the Lubavitcher Rebbe felt that you should celebrate birthdays, was because it's the proof that God needs you on this world. And he still needs you on this world. And he needs you to continue to do the thing that you were put in this world for. That's a celebration. Being chosen to be on mission is a celebration. And when you realize that you are just a piece of the divine that is having a physical experience, but you are not a body with a moment of spirituality. Most of us live our lives. It's not our fault. We don't know any better, right? Our plasticity, we've been exposed to our bodies. Most of us grow up in our lives. We were too little to understand anything but that which is in front of us. And we spent a lot of time in that period of time, right? We have a lot of time banked in the growing up phase where our needs physically took precedence over everything, right? And that doesn't end when you hit teenage years. It only begins. So it makes sense that most human beings, unless taught and shown by people, think that they are physical entities that happens to once in a while have a moment of inspiration that may or may not be their soul. That's why so many people, in my opinion, are running from God, because the God that they were taught was this invisible rabbi-looking figure in the sky who has stuff that they want for their physical life. Right? Most people, I would say most, many people were taught this image. You have a life. You are in pursuit of your physical life. That's what you do. And you may have some moments of meaning, but for the most part, it's eating and being successful in whatever trophy your micro environment thinks is important, and connecting with others, whatever it is. Think about the things you want in life. Most likely they'll fall in the physical bucket, the material bucket. And when I mean physical material, it includes social acceptance. And now there's a God who was somehow presented to you as the being that can give you things you can't order on Amazon. You can't get health and happiness on Amazon. Amazon can't help you be successful. God can, apparently, or you were taught. And he's hanging somewhere above the clouds, and he's got it. And you want it for your life. And he's got it, and you want it. And now we're stuck. Because he's got stuff you want. And he's like, all right, let's go, see what you got. Anyone get this level of like theology? And you got to like pray and do stuff and hope that he'll sprinkle the magic dust down and give you what you want. It's a physical experience. You're even, in this way of seeing the world, we've even taken God, which is the most spiritual being, and made him into the provider of more physicality. It's an amazing thing. God just stands back. We got to play the God game, which is usually a game that we don't win because we never feel like we're enough. And there's always someone that says you're not enough. And even if no one says it to you, you look at somebody who looks like they're more and you think you're not enough. And then you get that whole political stuff, which is not good for anybody. And we project that insecurity on God. And when the world doesn't work in the way we want it to work, it's his problem. And when bad people get to do what they want, it's his problem. And when I don't get what I want, or when people that I think should get what they should get and they don't get it, it's got to be some broken system. And at the end of the day, I interact with him, usually when I need something or something that I have gets taken away or may get taken away. Because I'm a physical being and I live in a material world. And I have to accomplish material things. And I'll use whatever I can get to get the stuff that I need to get. And then every once in a while, I'll have a spiritual experience. And then as I get older, as my physical body wanes, and as my desires wane, and as social acceptance and temptations and career become less important because all of my physicality is waning, then I get more interested and open to more metaphysical things. But at the end of the day, it's a physical experience with brief moments of spirituality. That's the exact opposite of what it is. Like that's going south when we should be going north, or whatever direction you want to go. It's just going backwards. That's going in. I'd love to say it this way. That's going in reverse. It's getting in your car. Think about driving your car in reverse. You can never get it straight. Even when you try, you can never get it straight. And you can never go 100 miles an hour. You're not going in the right direction. All right, we'll talk about what this is. Okay, everybody, we'll talk about it. Have a wonderful day. Think about this for a second. If you can think of one thing today, just for 5 minutes for me, here's what I want you to think about. Are you a physical body with a spiritual experience? Or are you a soul with a physical experience? They're very, very different. All right, we'll talk about it. Have a great day, everybody. With God's help, I can't wait to see you again tomorrow.
Living on a lifeline, the world doesn't ever seem to change. Looking for the sunshine, but you're caught up in the rain. It's like your eyes are wide open, but you cannot see. You're watching life pass you by like 1, 2, 3. Walking in destruction, the winds of life blur your vision. All the devastation forever feels like you're on the run. It's time No one else can set you free, you're locked inside, and only you have got the key.